right, welcome back to Prima.Law. Right now we're just going to go over entering some of the basic information in the contact profile. So once you've probably begun a case or you're doing the intake, you want to get some of that basic information for your contact. So at the contact page, we're going to look at these tabs here. Here we have just information. So this is going to be general, biographic information, passports, addresses, which is going to be sort of our focus here. But there's also telephones, employment, marriage history, etc. Now, in these blue buttons here, or buttons that turn blue, this is going to be the immigration-specific information. So if you're an immigration attorney using Prima, you're going to be using this section here. If you are not an immigration attorney, you still might use this if your client has an A number or if they are an immigrant. Either way, let's go to the regular information button here and talk about addresses. So as you can see, we allow you to store multiple addresses for a contact. And this is because on the immigration forms, there are times when you have to fill in your physical address, like where you physically are living. And you might have a different mailing address. You also may have a foreign address. To add an address, simply click here. You'll fill in the information and you'll define what type it is. Now, you can only have one physical address at a time, one mailing address and one foreign address. But as we'll demonstrate, your physical address can also be a mailing address. It's just going to take that button off of here so you can see what's being operative. And if it's a foreign address, yeah, it could also be a foreign address. But in case those are different, you can have separate ones. Now, address history, scroll down a little further, you're going to see that here. And many times, as life happens, a current address may turn into a previous address. And so you can do that from here by doing the lived from when you're editing this or creating a new one, or you might copy it from here, but you'll add a previous address right here. That way you've got both dates. You lived from that date until that date. And one thing that's pretty convenient here is, as you'll notice, this is in reverse chronological order. So for your immigration form addendums or the information on your immigration forms, or if you just want to print your address history and add that as an addendum, you can do that here. But it's going to automatically organize them in reverse chronological order, both on the front end here and in the back end in the database as well. And that's how easy it is to start adding your addresses and some of the basic information in your contact profile in Prima.Law. Now, once those addresses are entered here, let's go ahead and change this one to a foreign address. Actually, let's change that to a mailing address. This is going to be a foreign address. To autofill that in the forms, right? If you're entering that data here in the database, or if you filled in a smart interview and it populated here, it's just a matter of going into your case. Let's go to this I-130 case here, and let's go to the forms. And let's go to this I-130 petition. We'll click here to open it. And yep, he's the petitioner. Let's go click autofill because I did make some changes here. This is the autofill for the form. Yes, I want to change it. Okay, now I'm going to click here to edit the form. So it opens it in a new tab. And here you can see we have the information that automatically populated all these fields in this purplish, pinkish color. These are fields that will autofill and reverse autofill. We have another video on reverse autofill, but essentially, if you're just coming here to type in the addresses, it will save those back into that database we were looking at here under the contact page for Mr. Bananagrammas, for example. So if we go into his addresses here, it will start creating these addresses if we haven't created them yet, and we're just going straight to the form to fill that information. So another useful way to use Prima, if you don't want to just go through all the tabs because maybe you're not familiar with exactly what data is needed, jump right into the form. Turn on reverse autofill by clicking this button up here, and it'll save everything you type in here in the right place in the database for this person. All right. And when you do that, you do want to make sure that you have the petitioner and the beneficiary selected here so it knows what profile to reverse autofill those into. If you have a form where you didn't select who the applicant or the role is to be filled by, and you go to edit that, it's not going to reverse autofill it anywhere because it doesn't know who to reverse autofill it for. So I could type whatever I want here, but it's not going to save that because there's nobody to autofill save it to. You got a little warning up here. There's no role assigned to the form. So just make sure you have these chosen with one of your contacts first. So just like that, filling information here, you'll see we got the physical address filled out. We have a mailing address, which is the one here in Holland. And wherever it asks for a foreign address, you're going to see that populated there. Okay, and that's how easy it is to enter addresses into the database and to autofill, and even using the reverse autofill for those with Prima.Law.